Sandeep Patlt, born August 18, 1956, is a former Indian cricketer, Indian national age group cricket manager and former Kenyan national team coach, who guided the Minnows to the semi-finals of the 2003 World Cup. He was a hard-hitting middle-order batsman and an occasional medium-pace bowler. He was the coach of Mumbai champs in the Indian Cricket League, but returned to the mainstream when he cut ties with the unofficial league in 2009. He has been appointed as the Director of National Cricket Academy, NCA, by the BCCI, replacing David Whatmore. He was appointed as the new chief of the BCCI Selection Committee on September 27, 2012. Sandeep Patlt was born on August 8, 1956 in Mumbai. His father, Madhusudan Patlt, was a former first-class cricketer, national-level badminton player and skilled player of tennis and football. He grew up in the Shivaji Park area in Bombay, studied in Bhamahan Vidya Mandir and Ramnain Ruia College and was coached by Ankush Anna Vidya. In the early part of his career, Patlt was as much a medium pacer who bowled off the wrong foot, as he was a batsman. In the early matches of the Australian tour, he scored 116 against South Australia, 9, which included Rodney Hogg, and 60 and 97 against Queensland, which had Jeff Thomson, Jeff Dymock, and Carl Rackemann. 10. He won the Man of the Match on his ODI debut for a 64 against Australia. In the first innings of the first test at Sydney, Patlt had reached 65 when just before the tea break on the first day, he was hit on the throat by Hogg. Continuing without a helmet, he was hit over the right ear by a bouncer by Len Pascoe in the first over after tea. Patlt collapsed in the crease and had to retire hurt. Though still unwell, he batted in the second innings at the insistence of captain Sunil Gavaskar as India struggled to avoid an innings defeat. 2 weeks later, with a helmet on, Patlt hit a spectacular 174 in the Adelaide Test. It came after India lost the first 4 wickets for 130 against the Australian total of 528. At the time the highest innings by an Indian in Australia, it took in just over 5 hours and included 22 fours and a 6 over mid-wicket off Bruce Yardley. 13. In the next series against New Zealand, Patlt opened the bowling for India along with Kapil Dev in the Auckland Test. Patlt found himself out of the team after 4 tests in the home series against England in 1981-82 but was picked for the away series that followed immediately after. Here in the Manchester Test he scored his second 100. India was in some danger of following on when he added 96 runs with Kapil Dev a little over an hour. England took the second new ball soon after and Patlt hit the last 2 balls of an over from Ian Botham for 4 and 3. In the next over he hit Bob Willis for 6 fours, 4,440,444, the third ball being a no ball, 2 cover drives, 1 flat batted back over the bowler's head, 2 square cuts of ferocious power and a mighty hook taking his score from 73 to 104 in 9 balls. He was 129 not out when rain brought an early end to the match. Another 100 followed against Sri Lanka in September but he was again out the team by the middle of the season. While the Indian team toured West Indies, he scored 121 in 84 balls in the second innings of the Ranji final against Karnataka. All his runs came in single session on the final day as Bombay was targeting a declaration. Patlt scored 216 runs in 8 matches in the Prudential World Cup including 51 in the semi-final against England. He scored 609 runs in the 1983-84 Ranji season, and his 4th and last Test 100 against Pakistan at Faisalabad. On the last day of the Delhi Test against England in December 1984, with his score on 41, Patlt was caught at long on attempting a big hit off the bowling of Phil Edmonds. 18. This triggered a collapse and India lost the match that could well have been saved. Patlt was dropped in the next test at Kolkata as a disciplinary measure, along with Kapil Dev who also fell to a similar shot off the bowling of Pat Pakic. Mohammad Azharuddin who took his place scored hundreds in his first 3 test matches and Patlt played no more test cricket, although Kapil Dev would return to squad. In 1986, he was recalled for a few more one-day matches. He also toured England without appearing in tests. Patil announced his retirement from first-class cricket after appearing for Bombay against the Australians in September 1986. But he came back to captain the Madhya Pradesh cricket team from 1988 to 1993 with considerable success. One of the more notable innings was a 185 against Bombay in 1990. He went on to coach the Indian national team and the A-team. As the coach of Kenya, he guided them to an unlikely semi-final place in the 2003 World Cup. He served as chairman of selectors of the Board of Control for Cricket in India from September 27, 2012 to September 2016.